We will call to order the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting for Thursday, February 26th. Corey, can we get a roll call, please?
Tim Lanehart.
Present.
Kevin Kaysen.
Present.
Melissa Dio. Present. Emily Lisborg. And Karen Bureg. I apologize that I don't know you NRCers, so I'm just going to call out some names. Sam Wolf, I see you online. Thank you. Dave Trotter. Absent.
Dave's not going to be able to make it tonight.
Okay. Brian Kvisler. Emma Lugo, I see you online. Thank you. Dakota Hufford.
Present.
Thank you. Emily Lisborg. And William Foster. Excellent. Thank you all so much.
Awesome. We can go to our first agenda item. I do believe we have public comments. I don't have the card though, but I would like to open up public comments. Do we have a? Oh. Sorry. And if you could just state your name and city of origin, and you will have 3 minutes.
I'm Hadley from Oregon City. I have been a resident in the McLaughlin neighborhood for 23 years, and I'm here today to ask for a fence around the off-leash dog area at Barkley Park. I've seen Barkley provide for the neighborhood as a school, a ballet studio, a theater space, and now a dog park. I was excited when the park officially became an off-leash dog area because there's no other park that allows for dogs nearby. Oregon City seems to be a dog park desert, especially in the McLaughlin area. For example, Atchison has no fence for dogs. DC, Latourette has no fence for dogs. Jackson Campus Field does not allow dogs. Eastham Field does not allow dogs, and so on. In fact, with Oregon City population of around 40,000 and over 25 official parks, but only one of these parks on the other side of town has a fenced dog area, making it difficult to access for downtown residents. Oregon City Parks Department states that the purpose of an off-leash dog area is to provide a safe and enjoyable recreational experience to dog owners, handlers, and their dogs while not impacting other park visitors or the environment. Having a dog park at Barkley is a great idea, but it is not safe or usable in its current state without a fence. Even though my dog loves to run, as most probably do, after countless bad experiences, I found myself avoiding Barkley's OLDA and noticed not many others went there either. I created a forum and asked neighbors what they thought about the park and if a fence would increase the usage of it. All 26 people who filled out my form agreed that the park was not safe or reliable for their dogs and agreed that a fence
Recording in progress.
I apologize.
Usable as a off-leash area. Some comments from the forum listed these concerns. The location is on the corner of 2 streets with blind spots due to the hills. Dogs like to wander into the forested hill next to the field, making it hard to keep an eye on and retrieve them for some owners. And Father's Heart has increased the amount of foot traffic and trash, creating an unsafe field for the dogs to be off leash and making it hard to not bother people who are trying to sit or rest. Having a fenced dog area at Barkley Park would eliminate the hazards that are currently preventing our McLaughlin neighbors from using the area as the Parks Department intended it to be, a safe place for dogs, owners, and other park visitors. Barkley is big enough that if just the middle stretch where there's no tree canopy had a fenced area, it would create a safe community space for dogs, their owners, and other park goers as well. I'm grateful to live in this community and beautiful neighborhood and would love to continue having Barkley be an accessible, safe community park for all, and I know the dogs would appreciate it too. Thank you.
Thank you, Hadley. I believe that is the end of our public comments that we have for the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee meeting. We will move on to general business. Let us start with the B City policy update.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, just to give a little briefing on this and to understand why we're here tonight and what our goal is. So B City USA was an identified goal by the City Commission this cycle in our biennial goal setting process. So this is really the start of that conversation. The documents that are included in your packet and will soon be pulled up on the screen are just identifying some goals and some objectives that we're looking to accomplish with this policy based on the criteria outlined for B-City USA provided by the Xerxes Society. This is, as I mentioned, the start of this conversation. As we've talked about previously to this meeting, we have a short business agenda tonight. So we will be bringing this back multiple times to PRAC and NRC for comment, but we want to make sure that we're on the right path. And so we want to open this to the floor to discuss kind of what we want to get out of B-City USA, what our goals and objectives are, and what we should prioritize in that policy. So just to kind of outline some key priorities that we've identified right at the top of the document. So this policy would establish the City of Oregon City's commitment to pollinator conservation and education through the B-City USA program. The city recognizes that pollinators, including native bees, honeybees, butterflies, etc., are essential to healthy ecosystems, food security, and the local economy. And this policy aims to create and enhance pollinator habitat on public lands, reduce the use of pesticides where appropriate, educate residents about pollinator conservation, collaborate with community partners to support pollinator health, and serve as a model for pollinator-friendly practices. The document outlines our goals for this policy, including native plant selection, what we would look to create for habitat, mowing practices, water sources, and ties into our integrated pest management plan, which is also included in your packet. That document is the guiding document the city uses for pest management today. With that, knowing that we should probably focus mainly on the discussion of this, I'm not going to go through the whole document tonight, but want to hear from the members both online and in person. If you had a chance to read through it, if you have any feedback, any comments, any direction that you'd like to see the city take.
We will open up for comment. Emily, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to start off by saying it's great to see this on the agenda. It's great to see this on the agenda. It's something that we've been talking about on the NRC for, I want to say like 2 years now. So yeah, thank you. And to the commission as well for listening to the efforts that have been taken by the NRC to kind of prioritize this on our agendas. I just want to provide a little bit of additional context about B-City. Cities that are close to us that are current B-City affiliates include Westland, Lake Oswego, Gresham, Wilsonville, Tualatin, Sandy, Milwaukee, Hillsborough, and Estacada. And one thing that I was reviewing the qualifications for an application process for becoming a B-City, and I noticed in, I think it was the communications section of this document, it mentioned annual meetings between the NRC and PRAC to discuss ongoing like projects affiliated with it. And regular meetings are a part of the B-City qualifications. And I'm wondering if that was like in addition to or instead of.
So this is one of the things we're going to work through on this policy is we're not quite sure what their expectation is for regular meetings and what the frequency of that is.
Yeah.
So, you know, right now what we're proposing is a joint annual meeting with PRAC and NRC so we can get everybody in the same room to fulfill that requirement. And then each committee can work on this as well throughout the year individually on the projects and goals that we outline at that meeting. Think of it kind of like a steering committee where the two joint committees work to set the plan for the year, and then we work on our individual pieces throughout the year with the individual committees. Part of this will be consultation with the Xerxes Society staff to make sure that meets that requirement.
Okay.
We have not started the application process yet.
Yeah, and I guess just kind of to piggyback off that, I can't remember if you were here when the presentations, were you here for the presentations?
Yes, I think
okay.
it was, yep.
My understanding was that the meetings would have to be more regular than annually, so I guess that's just something to kind of factor in. They also include specific committees for B-City, so that includes a chair and a co-chair and volunteers that could be entirely separate from people who are on the NRC and PRAC. So I just wanted to kind of like, if anyone from the community is interested, that would be kind of, it would be open to be on that committee as well for people who don't want to attend NRC or PRAC meetings but are still interested in this project.
I think that's great feedback. Thank you.
just for a note for the public, can it just be stated the purpose of what B-City is and what that means, just so it's kind of stated out there?
Yeah, so Bee City USA, very similar to Tree City USA, is an ecological conservation program where the city commits to certain practices, which includes both operational practices related to mowing, the way we manage public lands, and then as well as community outreach. One of the requirements is like hosting a pollinator event that educates the public, different requirements for website education, and typically there's some signage very similar to what you see with Tree City USA today, very focused on pollinator conservation.
Perfect. So similar to the pollinator gardens we installed at the pool last spring, correct?
Correct. Projects like that would meet that requirement going forward. They would become part of our management plan.
Thank you, Tim. I will open up for more comment. If you are online, I will try to raise your hand and I will call you if you're here. William, please go ahead. Oh,
Happy to see you taking on this project. I think it's great. And I know you're early in the planning stages. Are there any specific sites yet that you have in mind, specific projects?
There are no sites specifically selected yet for future projects. That would be some of the work that we'd be bringing to both committees in the future.
we will keep it open for comments. Is there anything, and I guess I would have one, is there anything with the pollinator gardens going for the new planned dog park at Wesley Lynn? Or is that just more, I know there's talked about preserving a lot of the nature areas there and doing labeling there. Is that a different portion?
Yes and no. I don't want to set an expectation that it's necessarily a pollinator garden. It is habitat restoration, and it's likely going to be some similar plants, some upland habitat that will have benefits for pollinators, but it's not specifically a pollinator garden like some of the other ones that we've done. We don't have a final planting plan for that yet. That when we have that done through our landscape architect, we'll bring that for review, and there'll be opportunity to comment on that and fit this into our goals through Bee City.
And I'll just add to that, to your question about a specific project that we might be working on now or soon. While that may not be a specific pollinator garden, once this Bee City policy becomes sort of the city's adopted policy around that, we're looking to encourage the management practices, as Tom said, to support pollinating types of plantings or management practices. So it's sort of applicable to any and all of our facilities going forward as best we can.
Thank you, Scott. We will leave it open for further comment on the current policy for Bee City policy. Yes, please, Emily.
Sorry, I'm not going to take up too much time. I have a lot of notes on this, but I would also just like to ask, is there going to be other opportunities for discussing this? I wasn't aware that the meeting was only 30 minutes today.
Yes, we will be coming back to both NRC and PRAC several times over the next couple months as we refine this. Ultimately, what we're seeking is kind of a refined plan that we can then take to City Commission for their blessing before we apply. And then through that application process, there'll probably be some further refinement with the Xerxes Society staff, and we'll continue to keep you updated throughout that process.
Okay, great. I just have two more very small comments.
Yeah.
Just again, looking at that list of what Xerxes requires that I didn't see on the list that was included here, a native plant list, a native plant supplier list.
Yes.
And that's something that if you need help, I'm happy to facilitate or, assemble lists for your review. And then I guess one other thing that I thought was relevant, because you mentioned training of staff as to pollinator safe practices. Xerxes offers training programs as a part of the Bee City affiliate program, and there's webinars. I think there's also in-person trainings. For anyone who isn't familiar with Xerxes, they're a national or international organization. They focus mostly in the U.S., but they do have projects elsewhere. And but they're in Portland, which is really great. So all the stuff that they offer in person is in Portland, pretty much, with a couple of exceptions. So that is another option.
That's great. Those are good points of feedback for this.
Leave it open for comment. I think just a few things that I would have to ask about this. So there's talks that there'd be a B City, potentially a committee for that. Can that be a form of a subcommittee between us and NRC, or would that be something that forms on its own? Or how is the formation of that committee decided?
Yeah, that's going to be through consultation with Xerxes Society. We're trying to manage staff time and then also the resources of the community to make sure that we can support this policy without creating too much of a, operational burden going forward. So that'll be conversations with both committees going forward, as well as the Xerxes Society staff to refine that requirement and make sure we're meeting that appropriately. So right now what we're proposing again is that this committee serves as this kind of joint committee serves as the steering committee for B City USA, with the regular meetings being each committee's regular meetings, giving the public opportunity to comment and provide feedback.
Great, thank you. I will leave it open for more comments or questions on the current B City policy. It does look like this will be something we revisit in a few months. Just looking online, I don't see anybody's hands up there, but I will give Dakota, Emma, Kevin, or Sam, if you have anything, please raise your hand and I can give you time to comment. Otherwise, we will move on to Tree City here next.
Great. Pete, do you want to give a little bit about Tree City before I jump into the others?
Sure. I'm Pete Walter.
Sorry, I do see a hand up, Pete, I apologize. Sorry. Sam, go ahead, I do see your hand up. Please unmic and I'll give you a moment here. Sorry about that. You are unmuted, but we cannot hear you here if you're talking, Sam.
Sam also can't hear us on the Zoom, so I'm wondering where the disconnect is on the audio.
Oh, my little thing is green. I don't know if that would be interfering or.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, Sam.
Test,
Please
test.
go ahead.
We can hear
Hello,
you.
hello?
We can hear you.
There's a delay. Wonderful. Hi, thank you. One question is, when will this application be submitted to for consideration?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we don't have a firm timeline for that yet. It's really going to depend on kind of the level of feedback that we get from both committees over the next couple months. I would anticipate, maybe the next 2 meetings for each group, we'll give some updates on, our progress towards an application, and then we'll have to schedule some time with City Commission to walk through what the application looks like, what the requirements are, what the, budget implications and operational implications are. This is all done in coordination with our Public Works and Planning staff, so we need to coordinate all that with them. So reasonably, I would say probably 6 months at a minimum, and, we can look to speed that up as much as we can, but that's probably a realistic goal, I think, today.
Sorry, quick comment on the deadline. I believe it's May for a city of our size. So if it's additional 6 months, I think just planning for next May, maybe just so that that timeline can be worked with. I'm not positive, but there is 2 deadlines, and I think our city would, because it's like a intermediate sized city, I think their deadline is May, but I'm not positive.
I think that would give us an appropriate timeline to work through, all the different review processes, so that when we're doing the application, it's something everybody's comfortable with and that the City Commission supports and that it meets their goals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool, let's do that.
Excellent. Okay, let's move on to Tree City. Pete, please go ahead. Sorry about last time.
Hi, Pete Walter, Planning Manager and Staff Liaison to the Natural Resources Committee. I'm not sure that there's a whole lot of discussion we need to have about Tree City USA. It's an established program of Oregon City. The city's been a Tree City USA since 2013. We were successfully renewed our application last year. Obviously, any activities that contribute to tree planting in 2026 will be recognized in our application at the end of this year. And these efforts that we're discussing, including the IPM program, EAB approach, and anything else associated with trees and natural resources areas would be part and parcel of any application we submit every year. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Tom or Scott?
Yeah, just to add to that, we have a commission goal related to trees and Tree City USA. We also have, kind of an emerging crisis that we need to talk about, which is EAB mitigation. Again, these are just the opening conversations of these topics. We will be having many more conversations with both committees over the coming months and years about both of these things. To start with the Commission Goal 7.4 is to explore grant-funded tree canopy assessment. There's an item in your packet that kind of outlines what staff has been doing to meet and exceed that goal. Emerald Ash Borer actually presents some opportunities for funding that we're exploring now. But one of the key developments is that we did, through a partnership with Oregon Department of Forestry, we were able to secure access to a state-sponsored version of a tree plotter, which allows us to inventory and assess tree canopy, and that software came to us for free. So that was a really big win for us, and we've been very thankful for our ODF partners working with that. We are currently uploading the existing tree data that we have, which is collected by Public Works Planning and Parks staff, and we'll be working to survey more trees this spring. So if there are volunteer groups that want to assist with that, anybody in your networks that would like to participate in some tree surveying this spring, reach out to us and we can get you connected. Talking about EAB real quick, Emerald Ash Borer was discovered in Redland recently, which does mean that it's in our area and something we need to be planning for. That same tree plotter software is also setting us up well for that mitigation planning. We've been working with Parks Planning and Public Works to determine what our response is, and we'll be bringing a draft plan forward for review and comment in the near future. So again, spring is going to be really key. We've been doing a lot of surveying in the fall, but once leaves die out, it becomes hard to identify. So spring will be a really big push. I can say that we've identified a number of ash trees in our parks that have riparian areas, and our water quality facilities tend to have a lot of ash trees as well. So we need to look at planting plans going forward and plans for mitigation and how we're going to replace that tree canopy. We are collaborating with a variety of different groups from the county through soil and water conservation districts and ODF to collaborate with our surrounding community on the response plan.
Okay, let's open it up to comment and questions on the current Tree City updates. And again, if you're online, just raise your hand there and I will call on you. Pete, please.
Hi, on behalf of David Trotter, who couldn't be here tonight, I think his one comment on the EAB plan was that it looked good. He was principally concerned that there be some sort of a local contact made, and that's where it kind of touches the planning department, because we do not regulate trees on private residential property in Oregon City. We do regulate trees in the right-of-way and within overlay districts, and on all non-residential properties have to get tree permits as well. So as far as the EAB response goes, our efforts have included updating our website for the EAB response with the appropriate links to the agencies that are helping us lead the charge in Oregon City. And I would appreciate anybody's input on that website because we can easily update it. I made some tweaks to it today. So, thank you.
One thing I do want to point out to that point, some educational opportunities for the community at large. Oregon Department of Forestry and Clackamas Soil and Water Conservation District are seeking to lead a public workshop on emerald ash borer detection and management, which will likely be at Hillendale Park sometime in May. So as more details are finalized, we will send that out to this committee and the community at large. So that'll be an opportunity to learn more about how you can participate in this process.
Excellent. Thank you, Tom. We will leave it open for other comments on the Tree City update. I will give it a few seconds. Oh, please go ahead, Karen.
Certainly. So I understand that there's a tree planting with Friends of Trees next month. Is that in any way associated with Tree City work?
The Friends of Trees neighborhood planting event this year will be a joint Arbor Day Friends of Trees event at Hillendale Park on March the 14th. Thank you. I've already messed that one up today, so I appreciate it. And it's a little unorthodox to be proclaiming Arbor Day on March 14th, but it makes a lot of sense this year. Mayor has supported that and all the staff. So we're looking forward to a really good activity out there at Hillendale Park. It'll be a staging area for the neighborhood tree planting, but we're also planning on planting an Arbor Day tree at Hillendale Park as well. And as I understand it, folks can still sign up for a tree through the Friends of Trees website.
Okay. I'll give it a few more seconds if there's any final comment on the Tree City update. Okay, we can go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Were you going to adjourn the meeting
Yes.
momentarily? If I could just comment before we do that. So we're going to close this. This is the business meeting between the Parks and Rec Committee and our Natural Resources Committee, and then we'll be moving directly into the Metro-hosted Community Choice Grant Program workshop. And all of our colleagues from Metro here are going to be facilitating that, and they've provided some what I think are going to be delicious tamales, because I'm going to make my way over there. But we do invite and encourage the committee members to participate this evening, as well as we've got, I know, a number of people from our public here. So the workshop will be facilitated here momentarily, and after we adjourn, you're welcome to grab some food and kind of hang around, and then that formal process will start in just a little bit. Did you all want to say anything in the open meeting here, or you just want to?
I was hoping everyone was here for the PRAC and NRC meeting, but that's okay. I understand that there's more going on and everything that's here. Then the next scheduled PRAC meeting, or Parks and Rec Advisory Committee meeting, will be on March 26th, and we can adjourn to the next meeting.